Hello, everybody. Welcome to our show tonight. It's nighttime it's actually morning, early morning for DJ, but for me, it's early evening. But
Still,
anyway, yeah, we've had a lot going on in the community, and the loss of Marilyn even for that very short time was a big hit, and a lot of us were taken by surprise. I mean, she was there and then she was gone and left a lot of us scrambling, trying to figure out where's Marilyn, what happened, what's going on, why is everything gone. It was shocking to quite a few of us.
oh yes,
And
it was.
as we found out what was happening, I don't know about you, DJ, but I was furious. I was livid.
So was I. Just want to say hi
Uh,
to Mona. I see you're doing that dual stuff we usually do too. But
hey,
I had to
Mona. Hey,
before.
Chad.
Yeah. Hello, Chad. But yes, I mean, there's so much to say. There's so much to comment. I even don't know which end to start. So just,
Yeah.
I mean, let's try to. This is like a big ball of yarn. Let's try to start to pull a few strands out so we can start to sort it out our way and
Yeah.
anyway what we can do about it.
Yeah. It is, the thing is that we have to wonder what is behind all of this. Where is all the rumor and hate and innuendo coming from? And we have some thought that maybe it's within the community, but honest to God, I'm with Nora and with Susie and Liz and all of these people that I think, honest to God, the majority of this hate is coming as an op. Hey, Pup.
It sounds a little bit too premeditated and
Yeah.
a bit,
Yeah.
I'd call it a bit unpersonal, if you know what I mean. It's not
Yeah.
like from one
Well, it's
person to another. It's
personally
more like
unfair.
this is more like targeted towards someone instead of from. It's one thing if two people have a beef.
Yeah.
That would be in a different kind. This gives me the vibes of something more targeted. This is not one on one. This is more like a hit piece, so to speak. And if I
It's
didn't say hi say, to Pop Groomer and Chad also, so I'll do that.
yeah.
Okay,
Um,
conscious.
Pup, sorry I didn't give you any warning. It was sort of a last minute thought. I was originally going to do this as a pre record and it saved as a live. So that's kind of what happened. um, anyway, I think, and it's targeted toward not just one of the big channels, it's targeted at multiple of them.
Oh yes.
And it is unbelievable that it is working. Okay.
Well,
And
not
here,
unbelievable, but still, I mean, sometimes, I mean, they are using well-defined tools. They are using methods that are proven
yes,
good. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been used.
right.
Lots of this shit was used for exactly 100 years ago.
Yeah. You
So, I
know,
mean,
it is, well, yes, it is working and it's proven. And what it proves is that people out there are doing research on the creators. They
oh,
are
yes.
researching what is it that what buttons can we push and who can we rely on to do these things. And I truly believe, as Nora pointed out, that some of these people that are doing these things is one person with multiple accounts.
Well, I mean, I have to admit, it's a very skilled and a very gifted person who knows how to do this
Yeah.
shit. That's one
Yeah.
thing.
Hi, Cece. Yeah. Um, it is disgusting. But here's the thing, guys. As creators, we don't really care what's being bad things are being said about us. We just don't. We don't need to see that. So
Exactly, Sophia. That's old truth. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, but I
yeah,
mean, we see so much happening. But my biggest impression is that people tend to lose the ability of critical thinking, or they kind of get caught in this time constraint. We have, I mean, I don't know how many times I've mentioned this, and I mean, the more you react and the less you can have the time to consider things,
right.
the more
Yeah, that
you're
would.
vulnerable. That's the thing. It is. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't. I think I used the. It's like when you have a chair. It says on four legs. When you have to, you can't just push it over as easily. But if you can tip the balance of the chair so it's on two or one, then you can much easier tip it over. So
Hmm.
that's they are looking for the pivot. They are looking for these fulcrums, ways to dislodge the stable ground we as creators and people are standing on or doing. So as always, I have to repeat myself. Who is gaining from this? Try to find a purpose.
Hmm.
And is there a long term
Long
gain
game.
from it, or long term gain in such?
Hmm.
Chrissy, as you say, yeah, we well, it's a funny thing that you have the Newton in your nick because you're referring to one of Newton's laws.
Yeah, yeah. Must be related.
Yeah,
But yeah, Chrissy, I think there are a set of people with
or a
numerous
team.
accounts.
Let's call it a team or something like that.
Yes, it's like a team of people that are using it's that team with multiple accounts. So they're
Yeah,
spreading this dissension and the bullying across a wide web.
yeah.
Okay? Um
And then, to be honest, there are personality types that come to certain clusters in the DSM, and one of those is these kind of malignant persons who also enjoy in hurting people and to
yeah.
destroy for others. So
Yes.
we have to remember those kind of personality types will also be attracted to do things like these.
Yes. Yes.
We are not, because we are not schooled or licensed in any way, so we can't make proper analysis, and you can never analyze a person you haven't had many meetings or sessions with. But we kind of see patterns, we kind of see behaviors, we see things that are kind of pointing in a very certain direction. Oh, Chrissy, I envy
That's
you.
fun. That's
That's fun.
fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
But still, as Cece says, it seems like youngsters are more on TikTok fighting, and the other generation, like the above 30s, are more on like Twitch, Discord, Reddit, and those a little bit older platforms, sort of. So, I mean, goes without saying, those, I call them channels. I don't really know what to call them, but those channels on Discord that are toxic, it's very easy to just unsubscribe to them and stick to those you trust. I mean, it's always a trial and error. And that's why I kind of react when people talk about the Discord as whole, because it's not Discord, it's the way people abuse the possibilities of this tool, because it's a very good tool,
Hmm.
sadly also to do harmful things like these
Right.
people do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the owner of the Discord, the person who owns it, what they allow or not allow.
Yeah,
Um, for me and the safe space Discord that I run, it gives the notifications just like the other one. But the one thing I will not tolerate on there is people fighting and running other people down. You know, if you have
you
a problem with someone, then take it up with them.
yeah.
It does not belong in a public forum.
Well, it's all about strict house rules, and
Mm-hmm.
also to live as you teach. And that's why I give you big props for the way you handle the Discord, where I feel very much safe and at home at that Discord. So,
Thank you.
but it has to do also with, I mean, if you can't, it's like put your money where your mouth is, right? It's the same thing with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It is, but here's the thing I kind of want to get across to viewers out there, both the replay crew and people who are here now. As much as we might be curious as a creator about what's being said about us, if it's bad, we really don't need to see it. So, um, I ask, and I'm sure all the creators ask. I don't want to speak for them all, but for me, please don't send me that stuff. Don't email it to me or any of that stuff. I really don't need to see it. Um if it's good stuff, great. But
I kind of look at it like, to use the American judicial system.
mhm,
I don't want to know about hearsay. If someone has
right.
something to tell me, say it directly. If
Mhm.
you have something to say to Sin, send her an email or comment directly. But I
Mhm.
don't want to know that this one said that one said that, this one and this one. As soon as it's a third party or similar, I'm not
Mhm.
interested. I want, I,
Mhm.
I've learned that the more the information changes hands, the bigger risk of it getting corrupted. Simple as that.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. It's like a big game of telephone.
Oh, yes.
Chrissy, awesome. I mean, I agree with you here. Definitely believe to always critically think about what we see, then feel. There is always someone who is afraid to not comply, and it tends to give power. I will never give my power away. Agreed.
That's a very, very
Um,
wise word. And
yes.
as you remember when you read my little essay about tribalism a long time
Mm-hmm.
ago on
Mm-hmm.
that text, and I mean, perhaps we should bring that up someday, that
Yeah.
like a little
Yeah.
lecture or something like that, because
Yeah.
we see this need for belonging. We see this need of not feeling excluded, to to be part of the to be accepted. And
It's
some
part of the
people
group.
part of the group, and some people have different kinds of needs or different ways of registering or feeling that they are accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes for some person, if just someone says good job and thanks, and that person will be happy the rest of the day. Other people
Mm-hmm.
need much more. So
Mm-hmm.
it's more about, like, I would call some kind of energy balance or exchange. Certain people need more energy, so certain people can do with less. That's kind of, I don't know if you're on track in how I'm thinking about this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to fathom, CC says, how evil Osa is. It's gone over in Tony Ortega's book, but I'm still learning myself after 50 years of involvement. I fail to understand why. there I believe that OSA is evil, is using its evil to protect a tribe, a group.
Well, we
Let's
could let's basically kind of cut to the core.
mm-hmm.
Why was first the office this Office of Special Affairs created?
It was the Guardian's office originally.
Yeah. So I mean, what was the main task?
To protect and prevent and shut people up, basically.
Yeah. And to keep unwanted information out of the public
Correct.
view, and
And
to
unwanted
harass and
information
silence. Yeah.
and unwanted
And,
information to be allowed into the tribe, the group, the church.
yeah. So that means that is as long as they feel the need for it, and of course they do, especially now with this, what can we call it, this new opposition, this new way they have to deal with. They are adapting fast because they are not stupid people. They're
No.
very intelligent,
No.
very
Yeah.
very smart people.
Yeah.
So they are catching up fast.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're trying to target. Let's see who they can target. I mean, they've been after Liz Gay, Liz Ferris. They've been after many people, like Marilyn latest. And as Pop Groomer said, it's all to protect what they have been brainwashed to think is good. I mean, it's all about welcome SPTV gaming community too.
Welcome, SPTV gaming community.
But
So
it is this.
Sophia has a good point too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sophia.
So there's a reason they remind me of parts of my country's history that wasn't very long ago.
That's what I mentioned earlier. This about 100 years ago, because many people just think about when the Second World War broke out, but they don't realize there were many years before that things were going on already.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
this is the same way.
Well, it's all about propaganda. Let's look at the propaganda that was put out, let's say, in World War II. Okay, I mean, obviously we can't mention names on that, but we all know about it. Okay.
Well, we can mention countries. We can mention
right.
So there are certain names we can mention, but I mean, we can simply. This is just pure facts we're sticking to, so it's not like we are bringing anything.
So they used propaganda to change the minds of the people in a particular country. Okay, the Soviets did it, or the Bolsheviks. The Germans did it. The Italians did it.
Well, the Italians created something that has really stuck in history books. I mean,
right.
If we talk about Mussolini's movement, first it was called activism, until he added this symbol that he took from the Romans. These, I think it was some kind of barley or wheat stuff, some symbols, and that's what gave the word fascist and then fascism. So I mean, authoritarian people. I mean, we can just look down in today's Africa, as example, some countries, what happening there. But still, it's all about control the narrative, and I mean that's what. Like if you have watched Miss Kim's analysis when she reads from the Dianetics, and we go through. I can't be in every time, but I try to be now and then. I mean, Dianetics is basically more or less an admission, or what's the other word? It's a confession, more or less, about how they brainwash people, but they get around it by controlling the narrative and I've said this before. I keep repeating myself. It feels sometimes, but when you control the language, and you do that by first of all defining what the words mean.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, you also control the way of thinking, because if you tell someone this word means this, basically mean when you hear this word, that means you already have planted a thought in that person's mind.
Right. Yeah.
So that's also what OSA is defending, because
That's
everyone
what they're doing.
everyone that's questioning the narrative or their interpretations or their view of things
It's to be shut down.
is to be shut down. That's what's happening in today's Russia. That's
Yeah.
happening in some other
China,
countries.
South,
China,
North Korea.
North Korea, that's a big example. We
Yeah.
have some other countries, but also as soon as you see an oligopoly or almost a monopoly of
Mm-hmm.
control of media, when you see too few owners have too huge chunks of the media landscape, be it TV, cable, radio, newspapers,
Right.
whatever. That is always a kind of ground for where this kind of behavior will grow out,
Yeah.
because many times, as you know, power corrupts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to think about, if we look at history and look at the propaganda done in Germany and Russia and all these countries, okay, in the World
Yes,
War II area, you can literally put that same narrative, that same thing on top of what is happening now, okay?
yes,
Because they know that people are not watching the TV news. They're not watching TV as much. They're watching YouTube, they're watching Twitter, they're watching TikTok and all these things, okay? So they have gone in, they have figured out where the people are going, and they have gone in to insert their narrative and get their narrative. I mean, there's a saying that says if you say it often enough, it becomes truth,
yes.
even if it's a
That
lie.
was one of those that used that expression was Goebbels in Germany.
Yes.
And
Right.
as an example from Sweden, I can tell you
Hey, Brian.
welcome, Brian. The right wing media, without using too much politics, but right wing
Right.
controlled media had always these hate campaigns against Olof Palme,
Mm-hmm.
because he was kind of a rogue, because he was first of all he was really wanting to make a change, and he wasn't afraid of treading on toes if needed be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were people that was hating, but you've seen the same kind of hate propaganda created today on media platforms. Many times they start very low key, but they keep repeating themselves, and you see lots of like Russia has huge troll farms
Mm-hmm.
that basically they get appointed. Okay, get that person down or spread this narrative. I mean,
Yes.
as
And I,
always,
I believe I believe that's what we're seeing here in this community is there have been a set of people who have been turned loose to create a narrative against particular creators. Okay? They are pointed towards those creators. And if you notice, they're after this particular creator and this particular creator, and they're sometimes different people, but they seem and use the same language.
oh yes,
Um, so you
because
can kind of
all
figure that out.
you can always trace the narrative, and as Brian so wisely says, I mean, it's not like you have to reinvent the wheel, but I mean, you can change the materials of the wheel. I mean, earlier it might have been of stone or wood. Now, then it comes some kind of
Metal.
composite. I mean, now we have
Hmm.
rubber wheels. I mean,
Right.
the
Yeah. I mean,
the idea is the same, but
yeah. I mean,
the tools get more and more advanced.
I think there are some people who are here to whose audience they have to cater to, and their audience wants to see a car wreck so that they can rubberneck and find out if anybody died. There is a certain part of that, I think, within our community. However, I think the major problem is an op being run by either or the Aftermath Foundation and or Scientology. And I think it's more Scientology than it is the AF.
Yeah.
Although I think the AF is sitting back and letting it and watching it happen and letting it happen, um, because
Well,
it serves their goals as well until the spotlight turns to them.
well, that's basically how black ops work. I mean, it's lots of planning. It's lots of placing agents and means, and then setting things to motion, and then just let things work their way. So, I mean, as Indigo says, of course, we are making a huge fuss, and I mean, their stats are really down the tubes now.
Yeah,
So,
the fact that we are making such a difference in their business, their modus operandi, um, we are making a difference, and they look at that and say, we have to destroy them, we have to destroy all of them, we
could you
have to
bring up
shut
the
them
next
up.
comment from Sophia here?
Yeah, yeah, I will.
Uh,
I was headed that way.
yeah, because what she says is also what we are doing, you and me. If you remember
Hmm.
these SPTV parody songs, okay, we haven't had the
Yes,
time to write some new for a while now, but humor,
yes.
beat, and music is two great ways of undermining a person's reputation or to undermine authority. As example, many people think of Napoleon as a short guy, not to talk about people's height or anything. But thing is, he was of ordinary height, but the British propaganda wanted him to be seen as diminished in whichever way they could.
Mm-hmm.
So he was portrayed as smaller. That's also
But he
typical.
wasn't. But he
No.
wasn't. Is he was normal size for that time.
Oh, yes. And then you can look
So.
at some, if you look at certain kind of personalities, let's say Kanye West, they want
Hmm.
to be larger than life, they want to be bigger.
Right.
So it comes to this wanting
Perception
to
is
be a
that.
bit magnanimous or what, well, they want to be blown up. It's like they want to puff up.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Um, Indigo Twin says if they make SPTV distrust each other and they try to put doubt in the never ends and take away their support, it's easy to conquer if you divide.
Of course
Yes.
it is.
And that is literally what they're doing.
Yeah.
They are literally putting the creators against one another. They are literally creating this distrust and doing more things to make the distrust bigger, and the never ends watch him. And you know we all have our favorites, don't get us wrong, we all have our favorite
Oh, of course we
streamers.
do. And not
And
to forget that many of these never ends, something that many of us share, which we have spoken of in many times, is the fact that many people has been through traumas and very, very bad things
Yes.
in their lives.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And many people don't want to experience fights, quarrels, arguing,
No.
or more drama or traumas.
No.
That's why some people
Back
unsubscribe to some
away.
channels and walk away. And that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of they, they use people's trauma against them by causing trauma
Mm-hmm.
or creating
Mm-hmm.
traumas.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
why it's so important to not feed the trolls.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing that you have to look at is that these creators, the second gens, okay, people like Aaron, Nora, Liz Gale, Liz Ferris, those people, they have, as they're being attacked, they have an army, a huge army of not only never ends and people who are in their chats, but also small channels. And the thing about it is that as much as they kind of want to go, well, I don't know, we're going to kind of ignore them, they need to be supporting the small channels because we are their army. We are the ones who are coming out and saying, hey, wait a minute, don't listen to what people are saying about Aaron, about Nora, about Marilyn, about all of these people.
About Natalie, about you, or
All of
well,
them. Yeah. Well, I'm not,
or
I'm a small channel,
yeah, or
but
like Katie, or like I
any of
mean,
them.
any of them, Susie. I mean, all these people. And as
Yeah.
example, and that's why we try to kind of have this a bit on the porch kind of way of talking about things. We sit and ponder about things. I mean, it doesn't mean that we know everything.
No, we
Sometimes
don't.
we may know things, but we have like been told in confidence, and that those we won't share. But
Hmm.
we kind of want to analyze this overall picture.
Hmm.
And this is a perfect example what Indigo says. I mean, we should have her with us in some talk sometime.
We will.
We
Look at
will.
how much it would have hurt us if Marilyn hadn't come back. She is
Yeah.
prior cult survivor and never in Scientology, but they know she is a mama bear when it comes to Nora, Aaron, and the others, and the
Oh yes.
gems, the second gems. And yes, we know that. And it would have been a huge hurt um, had she not come back. And
Yes.
thank God she did. And thank God she came back quickly. But the thing about it is that she succumbed to bullying from these entities that have started targeting the gems and some of the big never ends.
Well, it
Um,
wasn't like the first thing that happened to her. It's a
oh
little bit
no,
like
this was
death.
a series of
It's
things
like death
had
by a
been happening.
thousand paper cuts. It's not one cut, but it's
Right,
all of
right.
them. And that's why it's so important to avoid hearsay, avoid
Hmm.
rumors, stick to
Hmm.
facts. Only
Yeah.
what you know for true, only what you have got
If
directly for someone. Never
yeah.
never trust gossip,
Mm-mm.
because
If you
in this
hear
kind of
something, if you hear something about somebody and you're not sure and you're confused, politely ask them. Not in their chats. Don't sidetrack their streams, but politely ask them in a DM or Facebook message or an email, but be polite, so they know you're sincere. I mean, it's almost to the point now, really and truly, that each one of the creators should come up with some sort of prefix that people who are trusted know, so that they can weed out these pieces of propaganda that's being sent to them. They can literally say, I'm not going to read that because it doesn't have the correct prefix in the title.
We kind of need to remember that bring receipts. If we have the right to demand receipts, but also not to be too distracted by starting to chase ghosts or being sidetracked.
Hello, Form 13. I think that part of the strategy is also to drain time. Every minute I spend trying to get the docs on M.U. Anderson or whoever is a minute not spent fighting Scientology directly. Bingo.
Of
That
course,
is the truth.
that's sidetracking and
And
distracting us.
yes, excuse
Very
me.
well put. And also
Exactly.
a big shout out to Brian because,
Yeah. Brian does a great job on
oh
a
yes,
channel
and
that
that's
is
also
soothing.
why I and
And
some
so does
others
Pup.
do stuff on the side. I mean, Brian brings some amazing poetry. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
Eat More Pizza, his
Mm-hmm.
poems, I mean, they are so profound. I was so happy to be able to
Mm-hmm.
catch that live the other
And
day.
Pup does a late night stream that is meant to just hang out and relax. Just forget about all the crap that OSA has thrown and these people have thrown at us all day long
Mandy
and
does
have
some
a good
interesting
time.
music and gaming. I do some gaming, some music stuff.
Right.
Cultology Twins have had some game nights because we miss those kind of nights. I mean,
Yeah.
we try to
I mean,
kind of also make it possible. It's not like we have to be on the warpath all the time,
all the
but
time.
we have to keep the focus
Hmm.
and not let
And
ourselves be distracted unless we want to relax ourselves.
yeah, and
That's a big
that's one of the
difference.
other things. That's one of the other things I want to point out. These people, oh, I got a hair in my face. Anyway,
Okay.
these people who create the drama stuff, okay? They say terrible things, they do bad things, they create rumors and ridicule people and all of that stuff and spread the hate and do the threats. These people do that, and people who don't agree with them go to their channel, give them a thumbs down, and comment. Guys, don't. Because what you're doing is interacting, and what you're doing is throwing their content out over those people who are doing content that is positive.
Don't feed the algorithm with these trolls.
No, do not. Um, yeah,
Hello, Miss
definitely
Sunrise, and
don't.
welcome.
Hi, Dawn.
Yeah,
Hi, Dawn. How are you? Oops, hang on. I don't know what I'm doing over here.
no
I have
worries.
something I have to
But
do. Keep going.
yeah. So, anyways, that's also important. I mean, we can't. Everybody can't be outside the orgs all the time, but we can kind of also make it possible for also protesters to have somewhere to relax a little bit and feel
Yeah,
safe.
feel safe.
Same goes with
Exactly.
supporting people. I mean, somewhere to be able to just to kick back a little bit and know that
Hmm.
you are with people that you can trust. Because if there's something that Scientology causes, it's a feeling of paranoia and
Yeah, yeah.
this constant fight or flight or fawn
Hmm.
or freeze feels
Yes.
because they are so intrusive in many ways. Welcome, Scooter Mom.
Welcome, Scooter. Everybody who's shown up and come in. You look good in blue, Miss Sunrise Dawn.
Oh yes.
Um. Anyway, uh, so the thing that I'm proposing, guys, in all of this is let's one stop sending bad news to creators. Okay, let's not do that. If it's something positive, Sure, send it on to creators. They like to see that. But don't send bad news to them.
And check your
2,
sources
and
first of
make sure you
all.
check your sources, yes.
Yeah.
2, stay away from those sites. Don't go there. Don't feed them. Just even watching their videos, commenting, giving them a thumbs down, that gives them more ability to spread the hate. So just don't go there. Leave them alone. That way we can turn the boat around.
Yes,
3,
Sophia. They stole from Stasi, but they have stolen from so many
mm-hmm.
subversive organizations, also from KGB. And I mean, whatever you say about Eldron Howard Hubbard,
Hubbard,
he
yeah.
wasn't a fool. He
No.
was a very,
He was
very
a liar, but he
he
wasn't a
was a
fool.
liar, but very skilled and trained liar.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's also, I mean, if you make the effort and just start to look and
Mm-hmm.
recognize the patterns, as I've seen in chat, also people mention, there are certain patterns in what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So don't.
It's yeah, it's it's the thing about it is, and this is to the if any of the big channels, which I doubt anyone ever wander over here, but if any of the big channels do wander over here, support the small channels. We are your army.
Yeah.
They are attacking you. We are turning and flanking them. Okay? We are your secret weapons.
And
Support.
also, I mean, just we try to support all small channels. We try to promote people whenever we
Yeah.
can.
Yes. And Scooter, if you would start tossing out links for the small channels, please. And by the way, guys, one of the things I do want to say real quick, a little plug for Scooter. Scooter Mom is doing her very first episode of the Scooter Report on Monday. We are really looking forward to it. We're really excited about it. And what the Scooter Report is Scooter is doing basically what Natalie does for the larger channels. She is going to do for the smaller channels. So if you have clips of things that you've done, that type of stuff, send them to Scooter. Or I think the other one is LA to Toronto. Uh,
Yes, that one.
yeah. Go ahead and send those clips to those two people so that they have stuff that they can put up and they can promote your channels.
Because I mean, after all, you can't expect that Natalie in 1 hour can carry 200 channels on
Right.
one hour. It's impossible.
No,
So I mean,
no.
this is like let's look at it like you might discover some channels that you haven't even known about or heard about.
Right.
So you
Yes.
might find more stuff that you're interested. I mean, example, those who like poetry. I mean, Brian deserves much more subscribers than he has.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
a great guy, and he
Yeah.
earns them all. We have Miss Kim from
Miss Kim's
Texas.
in.
Yeah,
Miss
great to see
Kim's
you.
in from right down the road from me. Constance June, hello. Evil Blue Eyes, welcome. Bond, James Bond, welcome. Glad you like the small channels.
So, I
So,
mean, well, we try to, as we say, we try to offer a safe or as safe as possible environment. We try to give people something to rest their minds
mm-hmm,
while helping people to heal, helping people to relax, give them
mm-hmm,
something. It's not like we want them to forget what we're doing. We have the eyes on the prize. We will
mm-hmm.
keep having the eyes on the prize.
Yes,
But
Scooter, I
that
did
doesn't
mention
mean we
Scooter
can't
Report.
relax a little bit. Say again?
I said telling Scooter that, well, here, I'll put it up here.
Yeah.
Telling Scooter that yes, we did mention Scooter Report.
Oh, couldn't you show that thumbnail you made for her?
Oh no, that's for her to bring out. No, no, no.
Oh, sorry. Well, just a little teaser. You're gonna see a really cool thumbnail. So look out for the Scooter Report. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So yeah, that's for her to bring out. I'm not bringing it out. Yes, I'm the one who did it, but I'm not bringing it out. It's for her. And she also has a background too. So, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's a lot of basically what I'm trying to say here is that if we stop supporting these trolls, okay, and by supporting, I mean if we stop giving them oxygen, if we stop going there, if we stop looking for them, if we tell YouTube that we don't want to see their stuff in our feeds, okay, we
In
can turn
psychology,
this
we have
whole.
this expression of gray rock.
Mm-hmm,
Give them the minimal energy you can. Well,
mm-hmm,
that's calling. I mean, when you talk about certain relations, when you say go gray rock, that's basically what you do. You interact as little as possible, as little
possible.
as you need with them.
And those guys you don't even need to. Let's be honest. You don't need to um, have any interaction with these trolls. I don't have any need to. I mean, unless, and some people do like watching train wrecks. Unless
Yeah.
you're a type of person who likes to watch train wrecks, okay,
Well, the
it's not
only
a bad
person I like
thing.
watching train wrecks is Gomez, but he's in Adam's family.
Yes, but here's the thing. Just don't give them any watches, any views, any likes, any dislikes. Give them nothing. And if
Um,
we all turn and do this and put our eyes back on what we started with, then we can
and
turn this tanker around and we have
uh,
plenty of fuel to take down Scientology. We just have to get our minds back in the game.
and let's make sure to keep each other's backs because
Yes. Share it my now.
while Oz and other bad people, as we see here, as James Bond says, some people will break with rules, and that brings one of my favorite quotes from the sci-fi series Andromeda Ascendant. It's only cheating if you get caught. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
let's keep each other's backs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's avoid hearsay and gossip.
Mm-hmm.
SBTV is no soap, for once and
Let's
all.
get
This
back.
is no soap show.
No, it's not. It's not living with the Osbournes or whatever they called it. It's not scripted. It's not any of that. It's not meant to be what it has become because of these trolls.
I mean, we have such important mission, in my opinion. I mean, let's not forget, especially like people like Serge and literally
Yeah.
Michael. I mean, we have to remember kids can't consent. Elderly
Yeah.
people can't defend themselves once they
Yeah.
are abused. People that are in a weak position and getting abused and used,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Welcome back,
that
Pup.
is just terrible. Welcome
Yeah.
back, Jan. So let's keep each other's backs. Let's help people heal. Let's help people get out of that terrible hellhole
Yeah.
called a cult.
Yes. There are people within this group that are so invested that they cannot walk away. It would hurt them to walk away. I'm one of them. I know Jen is one of them. Pup Groomer is one of them. I
And there
know
are so
DJ
many
is one
people
of them.
offering so much of their time and effort. I mean, This is
Yes.
all on a voluntary basis. Only a few might be monetized, and those that get monetized, that's good because they deserve everything they get.
Yes.
But people should
As Miss
remember
Kim
we
said,
are not in this for the money or the clout. We are here
we are
for
here
the
for people.
kids, the older people, and to make sure no new victims of this cult. So, I mean, we do it, each and everyone do it in different ways.
Hmm.
But that's also because we are different people. Sin
Yes.
and I have completely different backgrounds, but we have common knowledge, we have common
And
kinds
common
of
goals.
experience, and we have common
And common
sense,
goals.
common goals. So that's
Hmm.
also, and as we always say, never take anything we say as an absolute
Oh,
truth.
it
Always,
moved on me.
yeah, always make sure to use your critical faculties and think, does this sound true? Does
Hmm.
this sound fair? Or has this enough truth of it? Because many
It's
times those trolls use
some, yeah.
a
Some
mix of
people are, the other
voices.
way to look at it is if something bad is said about me, and maybe there will be, or maybe there already is, but think about the person that you have interacted with, me as a person. And
Yes.
does that sound like something I would do or say? Is that really something that sounds like something I would do or I would say? Same thing with Nora, same thing with Marilyn, with both the Liz's, all of them. Think about how you know them, how they've been, and what you're hearing is out there, so far out there that it's like, well, that doesn't sound like Nora or Marilyn.
Just look at all those stupid and nasty rumors about Reese and Tommy as example. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
like Marilyn was targeted, like they been targeted, like so many other has been targeted. That's a very good point, Kate Delight. Don't
Yes.
ask questions to stir up. There's a big difference when you're having productive conversation and want to grow. But sometimes people
Hmm.
just use this, oh, I'm just asking questions. But the
Right.
target of that is never the questioner, but it is to plant this quarrel or this seed of
Seed, the seed
these seeds of bad things.
of dissent. Yes. And that's their goal, you know. But think about the person that you know already.
Yes.
Okay? Is this something they would do? And if you're concerned, if you think, well, maybe, then email them and politely ask, look, I heard this was said. What are you, I don't think you did it, but I wanted to make sure. Because if they did it, if they said that, even if they said it and then realized later that that's not quite how I wanted to say that, um, they will tell you.
Yeah. And same thing is, I mean, we are just only human. We do make mistakes.
Hmm.
One way we try to reduce the mistakes is by trying to give ourselves the grace of taking time. I mean, some
Hmm.
stuff we might want to do straight away, but we realize if I do it now, it will all come out wrong.
Right. Well, that's
Or
what this
sometimes someone
this
else
one.
touches the subject and we feel like, well, everything I want to say has been said.
Hmm.
Because we don't want to be redundant. We want to be factual. We want to make sure that what we contribute with do something is something productive and brings the movement forward.
Yes, this is another thing. Miss Kim is really good at this, actually.
Oh yes.
Um, she says, I'm not quick to believe a rumor in chat. I tell them to email me so I have time to look at it and figure it out. I can't let it distract me while live. And that is huge because Yeah, Form 13. Um,
I know, I agree. It's a very bad thing to do. But still, yes, the big takeaway from that is what Miss Kim mentions is to not let them, the bad actors or OSA, whoever it is, decide on what
distract you.
time frame we are or put time constraints on you.
Hmm.
Always remember that you're the one in control, you're the one deciding, and you're the one, no one else should tell you how to think or tell you if you're allowed a certain emotion or feeling. I mean, we will all see things and hear things that makes us sad, upset, happy, glad, whatever
Hmm.
we want to call it.
Hmm. I have a sunbeam going right across the lens of my camera, and it's making me look a little washed
You
out.
look always sunny, so I mean,
But
we get some Texas
anyway,
sunshine. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. This is also a good point. If we treat each other with respect, even if we don't like each other, it will help minimize the miscommunication.
very
Very
true.
well said.
I mean, as I said, I prefer to stay out of the sandbox because
Hmm.
if a moron invites you to a fight in his sandbox, he's her, he's it, whatever you call it. Anyway, if they
Fair.
invite you to a fight in the sandbox, sandpit, that means they will have home turf advantage.
Hmm.
And do you really need to go into that fight? It's better to pick
And choose your battles.
which battles are worth it. Is this
Hmm.
just a petty skirmish? Is this just a misunderstanding? Is it even worth getting annoyed over, or just so? I mean, sometimes you can just think, okay, this person had a bad day, and let it be. I mean, we
Hey,
can't
Wendy Needle.
chase everyone all the time. Hello, Matt, and welcome. But I mean, always try to stay focused and honest to yourself.
Yeah. And remember why we are here. We're not here to watch train wrecks. We're not here to listen to people badmouth other people. We're here to hopefully save the children and the elderly and the people stuck in that horrific cult.
And all those poor
That's
people
why
that
we're
coming
here.
from situations, it's like going from
From
the
other
frying
countries,
pan into the fire, or what's the call, the expression. I
from the
mean,
fire,
like
out of the
people coming,
frying pan into the fire.
yeah. I mean, like people coming from.
Other countries.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking like as example, like they did with Balance.
Mm-hmm.
They brought him from Hungary to Denmark
Mm-hmm.
and abused him. They brought
Yeah.
Samuel from Switzerland to. I mean, Switzerland is no poor country, but they still use this very intelligent and talented human being for
Mm-hmm.
this nefarious things.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as Indigo says, I mean, we are trying to basically bleed them out, these organizations and cults. Sometimes we get the critique why we are doing this and not that. But as we have said before, this is where we start. We haven't who says we're going to stop?
Mm-hmm. Good point, Sophia. See the human being first and don't just assume the worst. That's where they drag you down. Most of the time, it's ignorance over bad intentions. So,
And also, I mean, as we say, I mean, we all come from different cultures, religions. I mean,
mhm,
even that we are fighting this cult. I mean, some people are religious, some people are not,
mhm,
and that is something to respect. And same
mhm,
thing goes. I mean, just because someone does have a left wing or right wing political view,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean you might have something in common.
Might not, yeah.
So, I mean,
Indigo's right. We have gotten people out. We have prevented people from getting in. And that is something to be proud of.
just look at the work Windy City Satan Watch does in Chicago, as example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pup Groomer says we don't have to have groupthink. Me disliking someone because of a conflict with someone else is not going to happen.
And
And
there's no
I
need
am
for
that way.
mob mentality either, which is another word for
Exactly.
groupthink. I mean, just
Yeah.
because we have seen people trying to kind of say, you have to be with me or you're against me or stuff like that, which is the hugest pile of horse crap.
Yeah, I'm one of those who, if you tell me, if you look at me and say, you're either my friend or someone else's friend, but you have to choose. I look at them and say, well, that other person is not making me choose between you and them. And so if I have to choose, that's who I'm going to be friends with. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, but let's, I mean, we have done an hour now. So what we basically want to say is don't blindly follow smoke trails or rumors just because some, as soon as you heard from third hand parties or what I call hearsay or gossip, take it with a huge pinch of salt. If it's negative, you don't need to forward it.
Mm-hmm.
If you hear it directly that someone says something like that, then you should always check the sources.
Mm-hmm. Miss Kim, I hope our supporters understand none of us are professionals. We are just regular people that will make mistakes. Just let us know if something bothers you. Don't leave. Constructive criticism is okay. And that is definitely the case. Katie Light says we don't need immediate proof of the foundation or foundations. We can see the changes with our own eyes. And
Exactly.
definitely use your own eyes, use your own ears, use your own thoughts.
Because same
Don't
goes for you
let.
and me.
Mm-hmm,
What we do is proof of who we are. I
mm-hmm,
mean, if I do something wrong, I expect to be told I've been wrong. If I misunderstand something, if I get something wrong, I expect to be told what's wrong and how. But
mm-hmm.
bring receipts. It's all
Yeah,
about honesty. And
yeah,
I like Sophia's comment, and as coming from a country that also was affected by this mess, as coming from
this
Finland. So
this
I
one.
also have a historical allergy against that kind of mentality because as soon as you stop thinking, then
Mm-hmm.
you are ripe for plucking by manipulative people.
Yes, exactly. Um, James Bond. People are messy. We just do the best we can, and that is the honest to God truth.
That's the
You
only thing we
know,
can do.
it's
I'm,
it
I'm
is.
perfect.
Yeah, we are all imperfect. There's nobody who is perfect on this world. I don't care what they tell you. Um, but the thing about it is that I am one of those who tells things the way I see it. You have to understand that perception is 100% of reality to the person who perceives it. Okay. So my perspective on something may be totally different than DJ's perspective, and totally different than Jen's, totally different from Brian's and anybody's. We might have different perspectives. But if
I
we're
almost
truthful
expect
to
us to have a
our,
different
yeah, exactly.
perspective.
But
Welcome,
if we're
Susie.
truthful, hi, Susie. If we're truthful to our own perspectives, then we have nothing to fear as long as we remain open minded, as long as we are willing to take constructive criticism, not trolling, not hate, for constructive criticism that may
And
change our perspective on things.
well, that's the only way.
Hello, Susie.
That's why we do and I make such a good teamwork because I mean we kind of like to turn I look at it a little bit like if you have a prism. I mean, when you turn it, the light will change a little bit. So they, as we say, there's never just one truth. They can be
Mm-hmm.
your truth, they can be my truth, and they can be the absolute truth also.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Again, it's about perspective.
Yeah.
And Casillas. I hope I didn't mispronounce Casillas.
Mm.
The good thing about truth is you don't have to remember what you said when you were lying. Keep it the truth always. Exactly.
That's Anka says that's the way I always think because that's much
Mm-hmm.
easier.
Yeah. MD Media 18, before I put out either foundation right now, and this is my plan. I want to hopefully build some sort of relationship with someone who might want to leave Scientology, build their trust, and then let me find you. There you go. I'll get them the necessary resources they need. Foundations.
Yeah. And
Great
I
way to
mean,
do it.
sometimes it might be one foundation that is more suitable than the other. I mean, we don't, hopefully, we'll see more foundations than just these two.
Mm-hmm.
More the
Mm-hmm.
better. As long as they keep their focus on what they're doing, and I hope they do.
Mm-hmm. And this is really, really important.
Yeah.
Indigo Twin talking to MD Media. That's the real danger here with infighting. It will scare away people who want to leave by making us look bad. Yes.
Yeah. And
Thank
I mean,
you. Now I have to
and
remember how I said it. Casillas.
Casillas, that's good. That's
Yeah.
Spanish
Yeah.
or
Well, I was
Latin.
just, there's a lot of Mexican Americans in the area that I live in, so I kind of figure how that how it might sound. So yeah.
Uh, what can I blame? I'm European. But
But
anyways, I mean, have people any kind of direct comments or questions while we are doing this? Please ask.
oh yeah, definitely. But I do want to reiterate, definitely, the plan here, and I hope all of us partake in the plan. I mean, there are 32 people, by the way. Make sure you hit like, and if you're not subscribed to, please do subscribe. Um,
And also check those we have our mods so nicely have posted all these
yes,
nice
definitely head out
channels
to
that
those
need some
those
support.
links. Yeah,
And
definitely
look
head out
out
to
for
those
a
links.
scooter report.
Yeah, Scooter Report will be on Monday. Janelle, hello. But anyway, the thing that I really want to impress on all of the viewers is literally don't give these guys oxygen. Don't watch, don't like, don't subscribe. Just don't. And
I mean,
don't.
think it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to waste your time on garbage?
Yeah.
Because that's what it is when it comes to it. It's garbage. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we see so much quality, so many good creators. Let's look at like Liz Gale, Helicopter, Fluffer. Um, there are so many I can't mention
There's so
all of
many
them.
that are,
Lara
Kim,
FM. I mean, the way she
Laura.
sings.
I just.
So I mean, just basically, let's keep each other's backs. Let's
Mm-hmm.
keep each other sane and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what we need most of all.
Yeah. No oxygen, no fuel, no heat. And
That's a
let's.
triangle of fire. So just remove any of those legs and it won't work.
Mm-hmm. There's no space for bullies in my island of serenity. And just kind of think it like that,
Yeah,
you
let them
know.
swim with sharks if they like. I don't
And
want to.
this is whoop. Well, I will say this one. I'll star the other one, Miss Kim, because I do want to get yours up there.
Yeah.
It would be cool if there could be more collaboration with independent Scientologists of goodwill. Might make it easier for people who still like the tech to leave. Very
Yeah,
true.
that's why we are kind of reverse engineering the Dianetics with Miss Kim as example, and I've seen others too, but basically we are trying to look at what to talk with them about and
Hmm.
what's worth mentioning for them.
Yeah, don't let one person be the reason you give up on the movement. The movement is more important than one person. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also remember,
So,
this movement is no cult or a church. You have always the right to step back and take a time out if you need,
hello, Robert.
because you need sometimes remember you have a life also. We
Yeah.
all do this voluntarily. I mean,
Hmm.
there will come times when you don't feel like you have the energy all the time, and then you
Hmm.
shouldn't feel forced to do stuff you don't want to.
Really.
Always remember who's in control, and that should be you, no one else.
Yeah. The other thing is please, if you do see something about someone and it's negative, don't send it to them. If they want to know that, they'll go looking. But most of the creators don't want to know that, and they don't need to, and they're not going to go looking.
I
So,
mean, personally,
yeah.
I find no value in negativity, especially, I mean, if someone has something constructive form of criticism or something, then they should also bring a good reason why. Just being negative doesn't do anything good in my book.
Yeah. And three, last but not least, remember why you are here. That's simple. Remember
And
why
adding to
you
that,
came in.
can you look yourself in the mirror and while you think about that, are you really here for the honest reasons, or why are you here really? I mean,
Right.
we have all something to learn.
Hmm. You know, it's just we got to stop all of this bullying, all of this hate. We have to stop supporting it in any way, even though we're not supporting it. We are if we go look.
Oh, yes.
We have to stop falling into the trap of believing what people are saying without checking to see if there's any truth to this,
Sorry. Yeah.
you
And I
know.
mean, that's also part of this. I mean, we have to make sure that, I mean, we all value a safe and healthy environment.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of my mission anyway, in why I'm
Hmm.
active in this, because I feel like I see
Hmm.
so much interesting and so much to learn from, so many interesting people that I learn from
Hmm.
in midst of
Hmm.
all this.
Yes. And Casillas brings a great point. Taking breaks often is good. Spend time with the family and local community and have an independent life as well as the one online. And
Yeah,
that's very important because you can get overwhelmed so easily
yeah,
that you start making mistakes because you have so much information coming in. You haven't taken a deep
take care,
breath.
Miss Sunrise. Yeah, and also this is, I mean, sometimes I like to quote The Art of War. I haven't read it for years, so it's time to read
Hmm.
it again. But I mean,
Hmm.
this is kind of a long game and a war of attrition. Don't let those bad people wear you down. That's very
Uh,
important.
I wanted you to see this, Nico, and you're
Oh,
welcome. You're welcome. Um, Sin and Nico, you two just brought another micro channel over the subscription
That's
threshold.
awesome.
53.
I
Thank you both.
and just to let you know,
Yay!
yay, grats! And I also
Yay!
I
Happy
sub to you
dance.
also, so just to make sure I sub to you, so that makes me
Mm-hmm.
happy to see. So then I have one more live to look forward to.
There
That's
you
great.
go. There you go. There you go. But
You know, it's weird, but I'm stuck at 81. Is that a magic number or something like that?
I'm stuck at 269 or 260. Yeah, 269, I
Well,
think.
you're at least three
But
digits.
yeah,
But anyways, this
but you know, go
I
ahead.
think we kind of sounds like you have a hungry dog there.
Oh, she's just talking to me. She's like Mona. She talks to me
Oh, that's cool.
just in general.
Yeah,
That's Miss Sabbath. Which channel is KPETA? I'm going over the
Katie
list to
Peter.
make sure.
Can some of the
Pup
mods?
Groomer will probably pop it up for you pretty
Yeah,
easily.
yep.
8 to 35. Awesome, Indigo Twin. I'm glad to hear it. We'll get you to 50 as fast as we can, sweetheart.
Yeah, I hope so because you deserve it, my friend.
And y'all go over to SPTV and gaming community as well. They could use some subs. I mean, all of us small channels are supporting each other. And as our small channels support each other, we become a bigger army for those big channels. And I'm really hoping those big channels listen and realize that we are your army. We are the
Then again,
ones
I mean,
that you.
there is no competition. I mean, there's only so many people and so many watchers,
Right,
but
right.
it's up to each and every creator, really. I
Mhm.
mean, if you don't feel like I offer anything worth of value, then why would you waste your time with me, right? So it's
And
that simple, really.
DJ is my calming conscience. I will tell you, Susie, your live you did right after with Marilyn and them, that was a great live. I totally enjoyed it.
Me
Um,
too. I liked it a lot,
and
and
it a lot of you did. I had to do the same thing you did in that when I heard what had happened when Liz Gale said what had happened to Marilyn, I was furious. And the thumbnail that you see on this video was made that day. And I was ready to go on that day. But I'm one of those who has to stop and think and run it through my head because I don't want to say something that I will regret later. So I don't. And then I have DJ here who will keep me in line if I do
oh,
start running out.
I'm just me. Well,
Well, you
we have
still do it.
yeah,
Yeah. So, guys, if you take anything away from this entire stream, please take away the three big things that I mentioned. Don't give
yeah,
them any energy, the trolls. Don't give them any energy. Don't give them any oxygen. Don't give them any fuel. They won't have a fire.
and keep each other's backs if possible. I mean,
Right.
if you see someone struggling, it's one thing to
Hmm.
support them. The least people need to hear is more negativity.
Right. Right. Um, don't send any of the creators, don't send them bad news. If you have a question about something you've heard, respectfully ask.
Yeah,
Okay. 3. What was 3? Support everybody. Sorry. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, it's
I just
okay.
went brain fart for a second. My husband's walking through the room. Unfortunately, I have a wall behind me, so we don't have any disembodied chests. But you know, support each other, have each other's back.
And don't forget critical thinking,
Yeah, yes, and use your critical thinking.
because you always
Um,
need to be honest to yourself first of all.
mhm, mhm,
I mean, how can
yeah,
you otherwise look yourself in the mirror?
mhm, you know, and if the big channels would realize that we all support them, we may support different ones, but we all support the gems. We all support people like Marilyn.
If let's say if
And
two big ones have a quarrel or in disagreement, that's between them two. I can still watch both of them if I want to, or I can watch none of them and let's think, okay, you two deal your shit out, and like there's more things to watch for me. I mean, if I want to watch a soap, I can always watch a rerun of the old series called Soap. That was funny actually.
mm-hmm. I want to put this up because this is really important. Okay.
Yeah.
MD Media. I was on my way to Blue about 35 minutes ago, but turned around because I couldn't handle being out there today with all this stress and BS going on. There is exactly what all this stress and BS is doing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I mean,
It,
you do such a great job. I've seen so many of,
you do
I've not seen
amazing.
all of your, but many of your lives and clips, and you have a perfect way of doing the things you do. So I mean, why should someone deny you the right of doing things your way? And why should you have to be
Mm-hmm,
accused of shit? Just
mm-hmm,
because some people like to stir up crap
mm-hmm,
doesn't mean
mm-hmm.
you have to take it. And I mean,
Yeah.
also, it's kind of this bull baiting stuff. We have to
Mm-hmm,
learn to ignore those trying to bait us for a fight.
mm-hmm. But the thing is that what MD Media says here is what I think we're seeing throughout the protest movement. I mean,
Yeah,
we've lost a lot of very good protesters in different areas
and
because of
also some
all of this stuff.
supporters that don't
Yeah.
feel like they feel the environment is turning toxic, and then of
Hmm.
course they want to avoid it because that makes them
Exactly.
feel bad or even worse.
Hmm.
And that's the last thing we want to. We want to have a
Oh, we moved again.
no problem. So
That's the one that I wanted to show.
yeah, and I mean I fully support Matt also. I mean if you
Hmm.
haven't subscribed to him, please do.
Yes.
And as I said,
Please.
it doesn't really matter the size of the channel.
Mm-mm.
It's more about eyes on the prize. I keep saying that all the time. We have a target.
Hmm.
No more
Yeah.
kids in Scientology. Get their tax exemption removed. Get those guilty of all these bad things brought to justice. Get those elderly people the help and the
Hmm.
Medicare they need. And let's make sure no new people get tricked into that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is it is sad that we've lost some people
Yeah,
that we've gotten used to and seen. It is sad that some of our best or biggest activists have been scared away
yeah.
from
But then
doing
again,
this.
we are only humans, and that's why it's so important that we keep each other's backs
Yeah, yeah,
and remember that we are only human.
yeah, yeah. And MD Media, you know, if it wasn't in you today to go there, fine. Take the time you need
And
and
maybe
be
you
true
needed
to
a day
yourself.
off today because so I
Maybe.
mean you need to recharge also. I used to
Hmm.
say we are like car batteries. Just
Hmm.
because it says a certain amp,
Indeed.
that doesn't mean that you can deliver that energy all the time. You need to
Hmm.
rest. You
Hmm.
need to recharge. Otherwise, the cells in the battery will start to break down. And when those cells break down, that means you will never reach that capacity again.
Hmm.
Even if it says something on the top of the sticker, that doesn't mean that that's what you can deliver. So
Mhm.
always put your own needs and your own health first.
Definitely. Um, as Susie says, always, I wanted to get to indigos here, but I do
Yeah.
want to show this real quick. This is true. Every voice raises the volume.
Don't you have a
And Susie,
nice? You have made a nice thumbnail of that, haven't you?
I did. I made it. I made a really. I think I sent it to you, Susie. Actually, so you would, so you got a chance to see it. It was the radio, the SPTV radio. Um, so I hope you did get it. If
Yeah.
not, let me know and I'll send it again. Um, Ham It Up says, you wouldn't believe how many people contacted me privately to tell me that they decided not to go protest in Los Angeles because of what happened to them.
Totally.
And
Yeah. Yeah. And I
that
mean
is
that's so wrong.
exactly. And that's what I hate seeing. I truly do. I mean, we are getting the message out. Indigo Twin, we talked to a lot of people last weekend who said, we know Scientology is a cult and don't want to join. It is worth it.
Yeah, and I watched that, and I thought you did an awesome job, and I like the chalk deck.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, it's the Lady Jane out. I missed something that you said because yeah, I have some of the same issues, Lady Jane out. Sometimes the other phone won't work. Yeah, I have some of the same issues.
Yeah.
Um, but my issue is, I tell you what my issue is. For some stupid reason, YouTube has a vendetta against me, and I literally have to go through all. I have 7 accounts, guys. Literally, I have 7 accounts. I have to sometimes in chat go through all 7 just to be able to continue to chat because each one of my oh hell no is the worst one.
I like it most.
They yeah, I love this persona, but this particular one disappears in chat. And I'll be saying stuff for 5 minutes and nobody responds. And I suddenly go, wait a minute. So I go log on to one of my other accounts and come in to see if what I said even showed up. And it's gone. I mean, it's not there.
Yeah.
So I have to start using that account. So the only way that we found that keeps me in there is to make me a mod.
Yeah.
Which, kind of is interesting, but it's the only way that works. So
Yeah. But
um
I think it's
y'all
also
definitely
something,
go to Susie's channel, Ham It Up's channel. Y'all make sure you go and sub to those, please.
and
But yeah,
also one thing I was thinking about MD Media. Make sure like, never go alone. Always have
yeah.
someone to keep your back.
Well,
Also.
that's one of the reasons that I don't go very often. I know Miss Kim goes and she comes by my house, but she always forgets to call me and tell me she's coming. So we just have missed each other. I think maybe we need to make a calendar and plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to go out there by myself. And Miss Kim would probably like to have somebody backing her up as well. um, so that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mine just disappears. It's really annoying. So yeah, we should schedule it. But anyway, guys, so like I said, big takeaways. Don't give them any fuel. Don't give them views. Don't give them dislikes. Don't give them likes. Don't give them comments. Nothing. Because
Simply
every time you do that,
don't give them your time because they are not
mhm,
worth it. We have a much more worthy target or goal.
mhm.
Let's stick to
Two,
that.
don't send bad news to the creators. They don't need to know. If they want to know, they'll go look for it themselves. But don't be the one who sends that bad news and causes something bad to happen. Okay.
And also, we don't need rumors. We have enough news anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. We're kind of, I'm gonna trying to wrap it up because we've been an hour and a half and I
Yeah.
probably have a lot of people coming on. So
Yeah.
and number 3, keep your eye on the prize.
Always
Remember
eye on the
while
prize.
you're here. Remember why you came here. I know 99% of you came here to rescue people out of Scientology, to help those who are out protesting, and to make a difference in this world. 99.9% of you are good people.
So I mean,
Just good people.
and there are so many great people here, so many decent persons, so many wonderful personalities. I mean, we can do better than have to fall in those traps.
Let's turn this tanker, whatever you want to call it, cruise ship around, and let's go back to where we were being helpful, to where we weren't fighting, to where there was no rumors, no bullying, none of that. Just ignore all of that stuff. Just ignore it.
Hello, Helgir. Nice to see you.
Hi, Helgir.
So,
So,
so
like I said, if you have any comments, make sure to put them down in the comments section. I do read those. I go by and I actually put little hearts and put thumbs up on them. You know, do that. Subscribe, like, pass this around. Let's get it out there for everybody to see. Sorry, I'm looking for something real quick. So, DJ, if
yeah.
you have any closing thoughts.
Oh well, stay true to yourself and be honest. That's the easiest way to do things. I mean, it should be a piece of cake, but sadly, many people try to play roles that they are signed, not who they are themselves.
Yeah.
So if you have anything, I mean, post a comment if you look in a replay, or send us an email. You have our email info on our channels.
Mm-hmm.
And as we always try, we are only human, so we can only offer our point of view. And you have your choice. You can agree or you can disagree, or you can think, well, there's a point here, but not there. Still, it's your decision.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, that was something that I'm going to do later.
Oh, show me.
I'm going to do that later.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So I think that's what I had to say, really. I mean,
yeah. So, y'all, keep this in mind. Spread the love, because that's what we're here for.
and remember, blame OSA. And if you really want them messed up, make sure to subscribe to all these small channels.
Yes.
Hit the likes and the subscribes, because then you will put some itching power in their underwear. And that's what we like.
Only DJ.
Well,
yeah, definitely subscribe to all the small channels. Make sure you're subscribed to all the big channels. And definitely, let's put a hitch in and OSIS get along.
And here's a cheers to No Face, our bartender at the Carrie-Anne's channel. So, Asina Marlene to all, right?
Xenu Marlene, everybody. And on that note, y'all have a great day. Oh, I did want to add this to the stage. Actually, I was going to do this. There we go.
Okay.
Don't forget to check out my merch store. These are some great things that you have. Y'all stop by the merch store at cindy-1-shop.fourthwall.com. Y'all have a great evening.
I want one.